All right, guys, we're going to change the battery in a 2010 Ford Flex today. It should be the same. I don't think even when they did updates on the Flex that they changed much. First things first, we are going to want to crack a beer. If you're saying, is cracking a beer necessary? The answer is yes. If you're not going to drink a beer, you're probably not qualified to do this. This is a Yard's Golden Ale. It's a good one. It's out of Philly. They actually changed it. It used to be Thomas Jefferson Ale. It's pretty strong, 8%. Anyway, get in the car. Gonna pop the hood. Popping the hood, hard to see. Right down here above the emergency brake. Pull that lever. Go around to the front to open it. It's a little tab right in here. Pull it up. And that's why it's not starting. There's no battery in there. Just kidding, we took this out so we could go get a new one. What you need to do to take it out, there's a cross piece that goes here. It's held on with two 10mm nuts. So you pull that cross piece off, you loosen up the terminal with an 8mm. All right, then you just pull that out. The battery is a 65 class, so group size 65. I actually picked this one up at BJ's, super cheap. It's like $100 after the core refund. So I'd recommend that, all right? Before we do that, we are going to go ahead and change the air filter. It's already most of the way done. So to get that top of that air box off, it's just 2 clips. Have an old screwdriver. You can do it with your fingers. You'll probably bust your knuckles, almost guaranteed. So flip that. There's another clip right behind it. Flip that off. This whole thing should lift up. You know, pull it out. There we go. It's dirty. Dirty, dirty, dirty. Here's the actual air filter. So just pull it out real quick. It doesn't look awful, awful. Definitely needs replaced. We got this car in 2019. I did replace it at that time, but it's got a bunch of junk in there. All right, so we're actually going to vacuum out the air box, down all that junk in there, and the battery compartment while we're at it. Should just take a second. So, old versus new. See the difference. All right, this is a Fram 10242, so 10242. Might be hard to slide this in here with one hand, but it just sits right in that air box. Try not to mess it up as you tuck it in there. Perfect. All right, then these 3 tabs go in these 3 holes. Again, with one hand, a little tough. Ugh, got it. I'm gonna tip it up a little bit. It goes to slide in right like that. Then these clips come back up. Try not to smash your hands. All right, that's done. Simple enough. Let's move on to this battery. All right, so this is oriented correctly. Got your positive terminal, going to the positive terminal, negative terminal, going to the negative terminal. Don't screw that up. You will regret it. So pull off these protectors. If you have battery terminal protector spray, it's probably a little bit better than this, but I'm gonna throw some dielectric grease on there to protect the terminals and for connectivity. Go ahead, slop it all around. Now, I am also gonna use the felt pads. They didn't have any felt pads at BJ's. I'm gonna replace these. People will probably tell me that I'm cheap and I shouldn't do it. I should just go buy new ones. They're probably right. Throw a little more dielectric grease on there for good measure, all right? All right, again, tricky with one hand, forgive me. I'm gonna set it right in there. Perfect. This actually comes with a battery like a blanket, like a sleeve. Ford Motor Company, right? So this, gotta make sure you slide in. You want to cinch that down, probably protects it from heat. Who knows what else it does. But get that nice and square in there. Perfect. Okay. Now we get this cross piece that holds it in right here. This had a little bit of corrosion buildup on it. I'm actually going to spray it with WD-40. All right. Nice and shiny. Makes me feel better. It slides under this handle. Just sits right on top. Has to go between guess what? We just found out it doesn't go either direction. Had it backwards. So it sits right there. It clamps down with those two 10mm nuts. 1, 2, pick up the 10. Collapse your handle, get your terminal on, don't electrocute yourself. Go ahead and tighten that up. Again, 8mm. Same thing here. Oh, we got some headlights. There we go, baby. Again, 8mm. Don't drop your wrench across the terminals like I almost did with slippery hands. We're gonna see some sparks. Some sparks. This is probably a good time to take a break and get a sip of beer. We're just gonna finish it. All right, guys, replace your rubber caps. These are in really good shape. Again, we bought this car for my grandmother's estate, so it's a one family car, 2-owner car. And before you say, oh, you think a Ford Flex is cool? No, I don't think Ford Flexes are cool at all. It's very, very practical. I don't feel like spending 70 or 80 grand on a new SUV, so this will work for the time being. Let's go check our work. Oh, we got lights. Lights are good. Get the key out. Beautiful. Usually doesn't take that long to crank.